What's up, this is Vincanity and welcome to my windmill tutorial part 3. Today we're going to be learning how to do barrel windmills, also known as gyros. Before you continue with this tutorial, make sure you have mastered both 1 and part 2 of my windmill tutorials. Number 1 being windmills with the stab, and number 2 being windmills with pushing with our hands, just like this. If you have not mastered those, you're going to have a little bit of trouble with this tutorial. Just because you can do a couple windmills doesn't mean that you've mastered it, so make sure you can do 10 to 20 flawlessly. Before you start practicing your windmills, make sure you wear a beanie, a shirt that spins, and have some music playing. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so to get started, we're going to learn what to do with our arms. As you may know, a gyro or a barrel windmill is basically a windmill without putting your hands on the ground, but doesn't necessarily mean we're not using our hands. Actually, most of the power from this move is going to be coming right from our arms. So instead of stabbing, instead of pushing, as we did in the previous windmills, we're going to be pulling, right? So your hands are going to be like this. As you start, the higher your windmill gets, the more far out you can be. Starting out, you might be right in here, and you're going to pull, right? Really like stick your elbow into it, pull. And that's what's going to help you turn and go faster, right? If you're not pulling very hard, obviously you're not going to spin very fast, right? So the trick is we go here from our back, we pull, and we're going to go right up of our head, just like we did in the previous windmill. But this time it's even more important because this is what kind of bounces you over. You bounce off of your head and you go back. And this is actually one smooth motion. You shouldn't be like hopping real high. It should just be one smooth motion. So again, you're on your back, you pull, you go off your head right here, and you go right back to here. And then you go again. You pull, go off your head, right back into here. All right? The better you get this, the easier the windmill is gonna be. All right, so the next step in preparation for the windmill is getting to the ground from standing. And we've learned this in a previous tutorial. If you have not learned this yet, make sure you click on the link, learn how to do a windmill from standing. It's really important. And for the no-handed windmill, it becomes even more important because now, instead of just, doing a windmill, starting off slow, building up speed, as we've done in the past, now we want to go real fast right into the windmill. You can almost compare this to bowling. Like if you have a bad start when you swing the ball in and it bounces and it dunk, 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 and it goes all over the place, it's kind of because the release was off. Same thing with this. If you go to the floor and you have a rough start, your windmills are going to be kind of rough and you're going to start off slow and then you're going to have to build up speed. With the barrel windmill, you want to start off fast and just continue going fast. There should be no starting off slow and building up. All right? So getting to the floor smoothly is really important. And this is what we're going to do right now. We're going to do the basic coin drop. And a lot of people tend to have this problem when they're dropping. They kind of just either fall or they bump their shoulder. We want to use our arms to control ourselves all the way to the floor. All right, so that's going to look like this. Step back. I'm going to swing my legs. And right when I get to here, my hands are going to control myself all the way to the floor. All right, let's try that again. All right, so we go here, step back, control all the way to the ground. You should try to do this without any big thumps, because if you hear a thump, it means, you probably hit the ground kind of hard. You want to be able to get to the floor real quiet and real smooth. Let's try that one more time. Controlling with our arms. All right. And last but not least, you want to really whip into this. When people do this first, a lot of people rush. Think of this as like your wind up. You're winding up into the windmill. It's like your Hadouken. If you're charging your Hadouken for 1 second, it's not gonna be as powerful as if you're charging for like 3 or 4 seconds, right? So the same thing with the windmill. If you just go super fast, there's more chance of error. If you just kind of wind up and gradually drop into it, it's gonna be a lot smoother, all right? So one more time, step back. All right, gradually drop into it. All right, last but not least, we're gonna be putting all this together. We start from standing, we go to the floor smooth. We swing our arms. When we get to our back, just like the other windmills, your legs do kick a little bit, but when you're going fast, it's not as important as the other ones. The other ones, you're kind of kicking to gain speed. This one is just more maintaining this position and pulling, right? You wanna keep your legs wide, keep your legs straight. A lot of people have this common issue of doing this. For years, I kept doing this, and eventually I started pointing my toes, and it really helped me keep my legs straight. So if you do have that trouble, just point your toes. It'll help you have this active reminder to keep your legs straight. All right, so all together, swing to the floor, pull, pull, pull. Try to knock out about 5. All right, let's go. All right, you guys, that is my windmill part 3. And as always, make sure you guys practice and train this move. As you may know, power moves are not easy, so it does take a lot of practice. Here's a little drill you could do. After you get your windmills down, try to go for 5, right? Once you can get 5 down, do 5 sets of 5, 25 windmills. The next week, go for 5 sets of 6, and do this, 2 to 3 times during the week, like each time you practice. The next week, 5 sets of 7 windmills, and then work your way all the way to 10. So 10 windmills, 5 sets, meaning 50 windmills. After you get to that point, you pretty much have mastered windmills. You should be able to do it flawlessly. It should be no thumps, it should be real smooth. It's really important. All right, so thank you guys for watching, and shout out to Boomcase for letting me use this really cool speaker. It has this vintage look, really loud and portable, has a battery inside, Bluetooth capability, all that stuff. All right, talk to you guys soon.